Have you ever looked at your phone and realized nobody has texted you? You open Instagram and see people hanging out. Someone's at a party, someone's playing games with their friends, someone's posting pictures with their group. And you're just sitting there thinking, why doesn't anyone invite me? Maybe you sit alone at school, maybe you go home every day without really talking to anyone. Maybe you have people around you, but you still feel completely alone. And after a while, you start thinking, maybe there's something wrong with me. If you've ever felt like that, I want you to know something. There isn't necessarily anything wrong with you. Sometimes you're just lonely. And being lonely doesn't make you a loser. You don't need a huge friend group. Social media has made friendship look like a popularity contest. You see people with 10, 20, 30 friends. They're always going somewhere, always laughing, always doing something. And then you look at your own life and think, why don't I have that? But here's the thing. You don't need 20 friends. You don't even need 10. Sometimes having one person you can genuinely talk to is worth more than having a huge group of people who don't really know you. So don't measure your life by the number of people in your contact list. Measure it by the quality of the connections you have. And if you have no friends right now, don't immediately blame yourself. Maybe you recently moved somewhere. Maybe you changed schools. Maybe your old friendships faded. Maybe you're shy. Maybe you've been focused on other things. Maybe you've had a difficult experience with people and stopped trusting them. There are so many reasons someone can become lonely. It doesn't automatically mean you're unlikable. Sometimes life simply puts you in a lonely chapter, and chapters change. But you also have to take the first step. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If you want more friends, you eventually have to start talking to people. And I know, that's scary, especially if you're shy. You might think, what do I even say? What if they don't like me? What if I embarrass myself? But you don't need some amazing opening line. Start simple. Hey, how's your day going? Did you understand that homework? What kind of music do you listen to? Want to grab something to eat? That's it. Friendships usually aren't created through one huge conversation. They're built through small conversations repeated over time. You talk today. You talk tomorrow. You sit together. You joke around. You discover you have something in common. And slowly, a stranger becomes someone you know. Stop waiting for people to magically find you. Sometimes we say, I have no friends, but nobody ever approaches me. And I understand that. But other people might be thinking the exact same thing. There could be someone sitting across the room who is just as lonely as you are, waiting for somebody to talk to them. So maybe you can be that person. Say hello, invite someone to sit with you, ask someone if they want to study together, join a club, play a sport, start going somewhere regularly where you'll see the same people. You don't have to suddenly become extremely social. Just become a little more open. And don't force yourself into the wrong group. This is really important. When you're lonely, you might become desperate for acceptance. And that can make you tolerate people who don't treat you well. You might laugh at jokes that hurt you. Pretend to enjoy things you hate. Change your personality just to fit in. Please don't do that. Being alone is painful. But being surrounded by people who constantly make you feel unwanted can be even worse. You deserve friendships where you can relax, where you don't have to constantly perform, where you can be weird, where you can disagree, where you can make mistakes, where you feel respected. Learn to enjoy being alone too. This doesn't mean you should convince yourself that you don't need anyone. Humans need connection. But learning to be comfortable alone is still incredibly valuable. Go for a walk by yourself, watch a movie, listen to music, read, exercise, learn something, work on a hobby, go somewhere you've never been, start building a life that you actually enjoy even when nobody else is around. Because when you're comfortable alone, you stop desperately chasing people who aren't good for you. You can say, I would love to have friends, but I don't need to betray myself just to have them. That's a powerful place to be, and don't give up after one rejection. Maybe you tried talking to someone and it didn't work. Maybe they weren't interested. Maybe they already had their own group. Maybe the conversation was awkward. That's okay. Don't let one awkward interaction convince you that nobody will ever like you. You won't connect with everyone. That's normal. Think about how many people exist in the world. There are people out there who share your interests, your sense of humor, your personality, your way of thinking. You just haven't met all of them yet. So keep putting yourself in places where you can meet people. And if you're sitting alone right now, I want you to hear this part. Your current loneliness is not a prediction of your future. Just because you have no close friends today, doesn't mean you'll have no friends next year. Your life can change incredibly quickly. One conversation can lead to a friendship. One new hobby can introduce you to an entirely new group of people. One decision to leave your room and actually go somewhere can change your routine. You don't know what's waiting for you, so don't write the ending while you're still in the middle of the story. Maybe right now, you're in the lonely chapter. That doesn't mean it's the whole book. And one more thing. Please don't hate yourself for being lonely. I know it's easy to look at yourself and think, everyone else has people. I'm the problem. I'm boring. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not interesting enough. But being lonely doesn't define your value. You're still worthy of friendship. You're still worthy of love. You're still worth knowing. And you don't need to become a completely different person to deserve good people in your life. Work on yourself, yes. Become more confident. Learn to communicate. Take care of yourself. Try new things. But don't do it because you hate who you are. Do it because you believe you're worth improving. So if you're watching this and you currently have no friends, don't give up. Start small. Say hello to someone. Send that message. Join something. Lead your room. Try something new. And give it time. You don't need a huge group. You just need to find a few people with whom you can genuinely be yourself. And until then, don't confuse being alone with being worthless. Sometimes you're not being left behind. Sometimes you're simply between chapters. And one day you might look back at this lonely version of yourself and realize that this wasn't the end. It was the beginning of you learning how to find your people. So keep going. Keep meeting people. Keep being yourself. And remember, you may feel alone right now, but you are not alone in feeling alone. There are so many people out there waiting to find their people too. Maybe you just haven't found each other yet.